again on his own 25. Offensive series number 2 against this Colts D, and Darius Leonard, you already noticed in that first series doing some interesting looks.
Yeah, the narrative of this Colts defense was earlier in the year, until last week, right? They got their statement win, a marquee offense in Buffalo, a marquee quarterback in Josh Allen, and they put the clamps on them from the very get-go. They need another week like that to put the rest that they can't stop elite passing games, elite. They got a great chance today to do it back-to-back weeks, and this Colts defense is fired up about it.
On first down, Brady, a lot of time, and behind Gronkowski, incomplete. Odom was there near on the coverage.
Yeah, second time now. We saw it on the last third down with Mike Evans. Just a little miscommunication. Not exactly on the same page between Brady and his target receiver. That time was Gronkowski. Gronk sits. He's expecting him to kind of fall out of this route. Just not early, just not quite in sync. Like you talked about, Bruce Arians said, for some reason on the road, it takes us a little while to find our energy and find our groove.
Brady 0 for 3 early, stands in there and delivers. That time it sails into the chest of Gronkowski, who backpedals across the 45 for a first down. 20 yards to Gronk.
We've seen them do this for a long time. Watch Darius Leonard follow Fournette out of the backfield, and it opens up that middle of the zone. That's pitch and catch for these two guys. We've seen it for a long time.
Four-man rush. Brady near sideline has a completion. And be close to a first down. Mike Evans hauls that one in. He's had a terrific year. 10 touchdowns, tied for the league lead with Cooper Kupp.
See him changing their tempo here. Sometimes when an offense is struggling, right? A couple incompletes, not finding the rhythm. The best thing you can do is go up tempo, get on the ball, and find your rhythm through the tempo of your system.
Fournette will get it on a 2nd and 1, and he's got the first down. Down to the 40 of Indianapolis. So after a 3 and out on the opening drive, they go up tempo, starting to find a little bit of that rhythm. And I'm curious why, Pam talked about why, especially in a year where the road teams have the best record they've ever had. It's interesting that Tampa Bay has struggled so much in that area. Continue with the pace. Brady looking, firing Godwin. Oh, that was nearly intercepted. Rocky Yassin made a break on it, and he might have scored.
He talked all week about how he feels like he's playing at such a high level. He's made such improvement from last year. He's waiting to get his hands on his first pick. He had a chance to get it off the greatest of all time, and he knows it. Rocky's seen, when you talk to the coaches and the word around the building, he's come so far. He had some struggles last year, a lot of penalties, kind of handsy. He's settling in.
2nd down, get it out to Fournette, and he is taken down immediately. Xavier Rhodes, really good tackle. Up from the secondary, up comes 3rd and long.
And you see kind of the hockey line change here, Kev. All these guys are running onto the field. They're bringing their pass rushers, front down linemen, linebackers. Matt Eberflus, the defensive coordinator here in Indianapolis, his 3rd down blitz package and scheme is as good as anybody in the league. See what they dial up. So there's DeForest Buckner there. They're all pro D tackle lined up at nose.
Trying to get it to Godwin on a screen. Ball is loose. Who's going to get it? Looks like Indianapolis. Let's see. They will uncover it. Colts have the football. Darius Leonard forcing another turnover.
You talked about Darius Leonard. This is the weekly peanut punch, Kev. It feels like not a game goes by that we don't talk about it. Darius Leonard, he can do a little bit of everything, and he's put his stamp on this game early.
Part of what makes the Colts so good, we talked about their run game, their offensive line. They are #1 in the NFL in forcing turnovers and #1 in scoring off them. 98 points off turnovers. Leonard forcing his 5th fumble on the year. He's a turnover machine. Sendejo recovered it. Now the Colts, 2 good defensive series. And now we'll see if there is movement or if Tampa Bay jumped. Shaq Barrett came across, see if he was baited or not. Sean Smith, the ref.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 58, 5-yard penalty, first down.
You got to wonder if somewhere Peanut Tillman's saying, I should have trademarked Peanut Punch. He'd be collecting royalties every time. It seems like every week on every broadcast somebody references that so famous in Chicago.
You know what? It works.
I'll tell you, it works. When I was a young player watching him do it in practice, you know, the guys are looking around like, what are you doing? You know, everything was always strip the ball, strip the ball. Well, he has changed the way teams go after the football.
Pressure coming, picked up. Wentz now has time, but can't find anyone. Now he's taken down. It was picked up initially, but Shaq Barrett got home for the sack. Make it 6.5 on the year for him. We have our first game break of the day. Let's check in with Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Kevin. Patriots looking to extend their 5-game win streak against the Titans. This helps Mac Jones. Next with Kendrick Bourne, 4-yard score. Pats up early, 7-0. Kevin?
Well, that win streak combined with the Patriots' #1 D in the league, it's a pretty good combination.
Best thing for a young quarterback is a great defense.
After the sack, second down, 4-man rush. Wentz, far side. Jack Doyle's got the catch, but he's going to be wrestled down by Dean, a couple yards short of a first down. And now Dean is slow to get up. This Tampa Bay secondary has been besieged by injuries all year long. And I mean, they were playing their 6th and 7th cornerbacks. They signed Richard Sherman, who's now on IR. There's D. Delaney, who's gotten some time this year, number 30. And he's in right now. They get Sean Murphy Bunting back last week, which is great. Carlton Davis, another starter, close to coming back. Now let's see what happened to Dean. Tough to see right there. They work on Jamel Dean. We'll take a break. 3-0 early from Indy. Dean being worked on the Tampa Bay sideline. Again, they've had so many injuries in the secondary this year. Just when they're starting to get healthy, now Dean, their nickelback, goes out. See, they're playing 3 safeties. He did a lot of that last week with Whitehead 33, Winfield 31, and Edwards 32. Did it against the Giants with the threat of Saquon Barkley, and Todd Bowles kind of hinted that we'd see it again, and we do see it right here on a 3rd and 2. On the fake, Wentz pressure throws, and it's nearly intercepted. Pittman, I don't think, was expecting it, and Minter had a chance to pick it off. It simply falls incomplete.
Yeah, and pre-snap, I was a little surprised that they threw it. It's only a 6-man box, meaning the Bucs only have 6 guys here, right? Typically, especially with this offense, that's a run look. They thought they could get him on the misdirection. I think if Pittman gets his head around, obviously, they convert it. But I'm a little surprised that they didn't keep the ball on the ground there in that 3rd and short situation, considering the look that Tampa gave. Direction. I think if Pittman gets his head around, obviously, they convert it. But I'm a little surprised that they didn't keep the ball on the ground there. This offense. Yeah.
Pressure throws, and it's near intercepted. Pittman, I don't think, was expecting it, and Minter had a chance to pick it off. It simply falls incomplete.
Yeah, and pre-snap, I was a little surprised that they threw it. It's only a 6-man box, meaning the Bucs only have 6 guys here, right? Typically, especially with this offense, that's a run look. They thought they could get him on the misdirection. I think if Pittman gets his head around, obviously, they convert it. But I'm a little surprised that they didn't keep the ball on the ground there in that 3rd and short situation, considering the look that Tampa gave him.
It's also a couple times trying to get it to Pittman, and they haven't been on the same page today, Wentz and Pittman. So Bucs D does their job after the turnover, remember. That'll bounce just across the 15, where Tampa Bay will take over for the 3rd time here this afternoon. Well, last week, Nate from Nebraska won $100,000 playing Fox Super 6. You have another chance to win today. Just scan the QR code now. Enter Fox Super 6's NFL Sunday Challenge for your free chance at $100,000. 3-0 Colts. 8:53 to go in the first quarter. And we have a new left guard. Nick Leverett is over on the left side. Remember, Aaron Stinney started because Marpet is out, and now it's Leverett in there. Not sure if there's an injury or not, as Fournette goes nowhere And maybe Pam Oliver has some information on that and more. Pam, what do you got?
Well, Kevin, really an onslaught. Jamel Dean, first of all, the cornerback has a shoulder injury and is questionable. You mentioned Stinney. He has a knee injury and is questionable. Linebacker Devin White, he has a hip injury and is also questionable. So just an onslaught for Tampa, just like that.
That's a lot. You know, White wasn't on the field for that third down. He had a quad injury coming in, and now Pam says a hip. All right, Pam, thanks. And now the Bucs on their third left guard for a unit that has been together the entire year until today. Second down, Brady. Evans makes the catch, makes the cut, and then tackled rather quickly. Bobby Okereke, middle linebacker, brings up another third down.
Yeah, you made the point earlier that both teams felt so confident coming in. They were so healthy. You know, neither team really had to declare too many guys out. Here we are in the first quarter. Things in the NFL could change and happen fast. The next guy has to be ready to play. It's very cliche, but so we got a man tell there. Darius Leonard is just out guarding Fournette. That's just to get a declaration.
Pressure up the middle. They swing it to Fournette, and he's dragged down. Taylor Stallworth with a terrific play, and it forces fourth down.
And I'll tell you, if Stallworth doesn't make that play, it's out of the gate. So we mentioned the pre-snap shift of Fournette. This is a man tell. They want to run this versus man. They bring pressure. Nobody has Leonard Fournette, but Stallworth, the interior lineman, great job reading the play and tracking him down. This Colts defense, man, I'll tell you, they have come to play today. Going up against the #1 offense in the league.
Impressive start. What a play. And another punt. Pinion much better here on his effort on his second punt of the day. Hines waiting. Makes a move. And another. And up across the 33 to the 34. And so this Colts defense against this #1 Tampa Bay offense saying, yeah, we see you. We got it for now. Taylor, #1 in the NFL in so many categories. Rushing yards, scrimmage TDs. Well, he had 5 TDs and over 200 scrimmage yards last week against the Bills defense, which is terrific. I mean, it was a show. And you look at, you're talking about 200 plus total yards and 5 TDs single game all time. He's the 4th to ever do it. And again, this was against a really good defense. They had been ranked #1 for a lot of the year. What will he do today? Slow start for both offenses. Here they swing it to him in the flat. And Taylor is upended there by David. Got some help too from Sean Murphy-Bunting. You talked earlier about this Indy defense and helping the Colts run game, giving them a chance to kind of get going.
Yeah, the easy point to identify coming in is how does Tampa's defense stop Indy's offensive run game? But it's really Tampa's inability to get an early lead to force Indianapolis to play from behind. That's when things change.
Run game has been quiet, running into a wall there. It was Golston on the stop. As a new right guard is in Chris Reed, who they do rotate in sometimes for Mark Lewinsky on the right side.
But take a look. They got 5 down linemen, right? We've seen that on 1st and 2nd down, and the line stunts. One of the most effective things you can do against a run primary heavy team is those single D-line line stunts, right? Linemen can block stationary objects pretty easy, especially a line of this caliber. It's the moving parts of the D-line that can throw off the run fits of the offense.
Got 8 right on the line right now. Wentz looking, can't find a way off the hands of Pittman again. 0 for 3 when targeting Pittman today, and he was wide open, but they can't connect, and it brings up 4th down.
And against these soft zones that Tampa's playing, he's got guys that he can hit. You're going to see, watch, as Pittman clears Minters on the backside, he's wide open. Just take some steam off it, put it on his front side shoulder, and he turns up the sideline for the 1st down.
Which the Colts don't have any yet today in this first quarter after 3 offensive series. And so they'll punt it away again. Not a great kick. Darden's going to let it go. Maybe not. Bounces right to him. And he's tackled immediately. Well done. Ashton Doolin, the special teams maven for these Colts, was there
on the hit. So a defensive battle so far. Colts D has been up to the task. Leonard forcing the fumble, being his all-pro self. 3-0 game in the first.
Well, this is what Pam was talking about at the beginning of the game. And for whatever reason, Tampa Bay on the road is a different animal, and it's their whole team, right? You look at their offense and their defense. They're both marginally worse, or actually more than marginally. They're a lot worse on the road than at home. And so far today, their #1 offense has had a tough time against this Colts defense. 3-0 here in the first. Donald Jones in the game at tailback. It's his first carry today, and has a good run as he slithers across the 20 and out near the 23-yard line.
Last year I had a chance to play in Seattle, and one of the things I took from Pete Carroll and his approach, and to your point about playing on the road, they had a routine that before every game in the locker room they had a players' time. Everyone came together, and it was a way to connect. It was a way to reset the energy, whether it was home or away. No one was allowed to take the field until they felt each other's presence and think. They were a very good road team. Certain teams have routines that allow them to find their energy and play well on the road.
So Matt Eberflus, defensive coordinator for the Colts in his 4th year. 2nd and 3. They'll try to run it to Jones to the other side, and he is swarmed. Indy was ready. Okereke was there and brings up another 3rd down. And this crowd is roaring today.
Okereke, Darius Leonard, look at the pursuit to the ball. Little inside line stunt, but now look at him, set the edge. And then your guys come to clean it up over the top. If you can get these running backs going side to side laterally, with the speed they have, Okereke and Leonard, it's not going to be a lot of space out there in yards to gain.
Got to get to the 27. Leonard coming on a blitz. Brady floats it, caught by, no, it's incomplete. Fournette had it, couldn't hang on. He wouldn't have had the first anyway. And another fine series by this Colts D. They force the 3 and out again.
We saw Okereke force the run on the previous play. Now he's matched up on an H choice with a really athletic back in Fournette. He's right in his hip pocket. Even if Fournette hangs on, I think he's short of the first down. What can you say about this? Matt Eberflus, this D coordinator, this Colts defense has given Tampa early in this game all they can handle.
And now it's, can the Colts offense take some advantage of that? There's Pinion punting it away. Good kick. Hines has room from the 24. Left side, out across the 35. A good return for Nyheim Hines after a 55-yard punt. The Colts have really turned their season around. If you haven't watched them this year, and here's really the gist of it. The first 3 games, well, they weren't doing very much well, to be honest. Then they started to pick it up. You see the points per game vastly different, and the run game behind this great offensive line, and Jonathan Taylor is turning into a star. And then Carson Wentz, look, he had the one bad game. He threw 2 bad picks against the Titans, which contributed certainly to their loss here. Other than that, he's been really good within the system.
And that guy right there, Frank Wright, when you talk to the players on this team, he's got to be the nicest man on the planet. I mean, the way these guys talk about him, you don't hear very often around the NFL.
It's Taylor on first down. There's not much there. So it's interesting when you have a #1 defense, even though the Colts are terrific at running the football with the best back in the league right now, I always wonder, do you test them or do you not?
Right, the coaching decision all the time is, do I play to my strengths or do I play away from my opponent's strengths? And I think that's what happens a lot with this Tampa defense. They're the #1 rush defense because they don't face a lot of rushing attempts.
Right.
Teams almost take the running game out of the game plan before the game even starts. I don't think Indianapolis can afford to do that today. Stay true to who you are, play to what you're good at.
Throw it here, and finally a connection there. The ball is loose. I think it's a fumble as David's got it. Levante David has recovered for Tampa Bay.